Alright, so tonight we're going to be talking about Earth's natural resources. Make sure you have that handout in front of you so that way you have your notes and you don't have to take them or listen to this and then listen to my annoying voice over again in a couple minutes. Alrighty. So what do you think of when you hear natural resources? So maybe you think of waterfalls, maybe out in the rainforest or something like that. Maybe you actually think of the rainforest, or maybe some fish in the ocean, maybe some fossil fuels, digging to get oil, maybe some trees and lumber and wood, or maybe actually wind, or something along the lines of mining to get our natural resources. So a natural resource is actually something such as the forest, a mineral deposit, or fresh water that is found in nature and is necessary or useful to humans. So a natural resource would not be your pencil. Okay, it would actually be the wood in the pencil. So just as long as you clarified that to say, okay, a pencil is a natural resource, well, I'm going to ask you why, and you can say because the wood is found in nature and it's natural, and it is necessary or useful to humans. So we have two types of natural resources. The first one is renewable, meaning it can replenish itself naturally in 100 years or less. Some examples of this are trees or wood, solar energy, because we can constantly get solar energy when the sun is shining, wildlife, because they reproduce and they replenish themselves, water, because water goes through the water cycle, so it's actually replenishing itself and recycling itself over and over again. Solar, wind, and geothermal energy. So all of that stuff is renewable, meaning once we use it, we can get more of it by itself because it just keeps on growing or keeps on reproducing. So those are always good natural resources to use because for the most part we're not going to run out of them. Now the second type is non-renewable, meaning it cannot be replaced if it's used up, or it's used up faster than nature can actually replace it. So actually rocks and minerals are actually non-renewable because it takes a long time to make a rock. Even though the rocks go through rock cycles, we cannot replenish it within 100 years and make more rocks. Same thing with minerals. We only have a certain amount of minerals on this earth, so it is non-renewable. Oil, or petroleum oil, is another thing that's non-renewable. So all of these gas cars, like Miss Judek's car, uses gas. It uses a non-renewable resource, which is not good for the environment, and it's not good for me or anybody that uses those type of cars, because once we, find all that oil and mine all that oil with all of our oil rigs, then it's all gone. Coal is another one, and also nuclear energy, which is uranium. We only have a certain amount of it, so it's very important that we conserve it, meaning we save it. So fossil fuels are all non-renewable, and you might even know the three types of fossil fuels already. The first one is a solid, and it is coal. So maybe some of you got this in your stocking last year because you were bad. Probably not, though. The second one is liquid, and this is oil. This is used to make plastics and also gasoline. Okay, so if you say oil on the test, that's fine with me, but make sure it's not like car oil, it's actually gasoline. So make sure you say oil and not gas or anything like that. The last thing is natural gas, like methane, butane, and propane. If you've ever seen those natural gas commercials with the blue flame that's kind of walking all over the place, natural gas is actually a fossil fuel, so we cannot get more of it once we use it all up. So that means they're all non-renewable. So how do we get rocks and minerals from the earth? So even though they're non-renewable, we are still finding more and more of these, even though they don't make anymore. Mining is one of the ways that we can get rocks and minerals. So maybe you've gone to a rock quarry before, like Vulcan, and see what they're doing and digging up and mining and things like that, but that's how we get those. This is actually very expensive, dangerous, and bad for the environment. It also causes deforestation, which is, just the cutting down of trees in a mass amount. So if you ever go to a mining field or a rock quarry, most of the time there's not going to be a lot of trees around because they're actually doing harm to the environment. And it can also cause forest fires, just like that picture down below too. So not very good for the environment. All right, what's the difference between rocks and minerals? Our next unit will actually be focused on rocks and minerals, so it's important for you to kind of get a head start on it. Minerals are elements like copper, amethyst, things like that, or even compounds like quartz. They cannot contain organic material, and organic material are living things, okay? It doesn't mean that it's healthy for you to eat, so don't go around trying to find minerals and say, ooh, I'm eating organic. No, that's not what it means, okay? And rocks are actually a mixture of minerals. So let's just say a mineral is, I don't know, a blue M&M. And then you go get a bag of M&Ms. Well, that's a mixture of all these different minerals, so that whole bag would be a rock, okay? And this may contain organic matter like coal, limestone, shells, stuff like that. So that's what a rock is. Mineral is very, very simple, just like elements, okay? Rocks are very complex and actually mixtures. All right, so the uses of minerals. The first one, we have to get them through mining. The land must be reclaimed when mining is finished, so that means that they have to kind of patch up the land and make it useful again. And that was a law since the 1970s because people were mining and then leaving these big craters or big messes, and people weren't able to use that land again. And we know that our environment, we need to take care of it, so if we're not cleaning up after, it's not going to be good. We actually reduced mining, and we needed more mining. Well, we reduced the need for mining by reducing and recycling. So we haven't actually mined a lot more for minerals because we don't really need them anymore. All right, gemstones are actually a type of minerals, and your examples might be rubies and sapphires. If your birthday is in September, like mine, the sapphire is your birthstone, which is really kind of cool. They're hard and colorful with a brilliant or glassy luster, meaning they're very shiny. They're rare, so they're kind of expensive, and they're mainly used for jewelry and decorations, but these are also a type of mineral. Some minerals are metals. Aluminum, iron, copper, and silver are all minerals. You can stretch it to make it into wire, or you can flatten it to make sheets. You can hammer it or mold it without even breaking it, and steel is also a mineral, and this is used for framing. This is actually a quarry in North Georgia, and this is where we get some of our minerals from. And minerals are actually used for everyday life. You can find minerals in your toothpaste even. So you use them pretty much every day. Hopefully you do. This is just a little bit more about mining. And you can just have a surface mine up here, which is this drift mine. You can do it down a slope and continue on, or you can go straight down and go all the way down almost to the mantle of the earth to find more minerals and things like that. All right, so hopefully you filled in all of your notes for this, so that way you don't have to listen to this again. But I will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening.